We've covered so many stories here on Rise and Shine about the empowerment of women here in Rwanda. Just in the past few days alone, we featured 2 different stories about financial inclusion for women in business. This initiative, though, is a little bit different. It targets teenage girls and trains them in many different aspects of life, giving them the foundation and confidence to navigate the world ahead of them. Take a look at the launch of the Paper Crown Institute, which took place over the weekend.
Paper Crown is an organization that I started based on work I was already doing in Rwanda, where I wanted to do more listening and less talking.
The launch and fundraiser for new initiative Paper Crown Institute took place at Inema Art Studios and featured a slew of performances by talented musicians and poets. So, what's the initiative actually about?
Okay, the Paper Crown is an institution that was started by a Canadian lady. It's called Carlson. It's all about educating young girls about gender balance, leadership, and entrepreneurship. So he's starting a project called Uicheza, which is all about showing young girls, teaching young girls to develop their skills of leadership and entrepreneurship so that they can use that in the future and improve the country in general.
Highly ambitious goals for this new project. But how did Canadian native Katie Carlson come up with this idea?
I'm a gender specialist. I'm from Canada. I've lived in Rwanda for almost 4 years now. I worked with young women here, and they were asking me for these skills. They were asking me for this kind of training, for this knowledge, for this experience. They wanted skills to develop their communities. They wanted skills to succeed in life professionally and personally. So they were seeking answers from me. I began by teaching them gender and leadership workshops, and that led to the founding of Paper Crown.
The evening was filled with speeches full of promise and uplifting poems and songs. We caught up with one of the performers to see why she supports the cause.
I think it's good to teach girls to express themselves in public, to have that confidence, because they are already strong, they are already intelligent, they are already all that. No one can teach them that. You have that inside of you, you know? But you can only be taught how to express it. And I think it's a beautiful initiative. And I think if all girls could go through that part of leadership and self-expression, they will build enough confidence to change our country. And this is what I am here.
It's a really good project that we hope to learn things like leadership skills, entrepreneur, and different things that will help us in the future to be beautiful Rwandans. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for coming.
Here's to nothing but success for this inspiring new journey. Makeda Mahario, Rise and Shine Rwanda. And joining us now in studio is Katie Carlson, gender specialist and founder of the Paper Crown Institute. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Welcome. Thanks for having me.
So this looks like it was a really, really interesting event. It was a fundraiser and the launch, right? So
yes.
You are raising funds for what exactly?
This specific fundraiser was for the Uicheza project, which is a 3-month project that we're launching on August 1st with some of the students that were in the video from Lycée de Kigali.
All right, so and I think she spoke a little bit about the project, and it seems very cool. How did you decide to pick up yourself, leave Canada, come to Rwanda, and start this initiative?
I was into social justice from a really young age, and during my undergrad I actually took some women's studies courses. I got more into the concept and the theory of gender roles, feminism, gender equality, also in a social justice framework, so looking at the role that men play, the role that women play, and how those dynamics bounce off each other. So the focus of Paper Crown is really to try to foster social and behavioral change based on engaging different communities. So I did my master's thesis on Rwanda, on how they had advanced since 1994. Upon democratization and state policies towards supporting women and empowering girls and women. And I loved the country, so I came back to live in 2012, and then it sort of developed organically from there.
So how do the girls react when you're doing these trainings, when you're conducting these workshops and things like that? Are they open to everything that you're saying? Are they a bit shy about some of the changes that you suggest or that you teach them about?
Well, that's interesting that you say that, because I really focus on not really talking and asking more questions, because they have already the knowledge and they have the life experience that I'm aware of also from my research in Rwanda, but I don't want to present or create the space where I feel like I'm lecturing them or talking at them. So what we really try to do is foster discussion. So I basically pose questions, and that's where all of the talking and the information comes from. And they are 100% open and 100% on board. And one of the feedback messages I get a lot, because we do evaluations after every workshop, from a lot of girls, is that they really appreciate the chance to be able to talk about these things, because they say we don't have any space in our lives where we can talk about these things just on a regular basis. So to bring girls together creates a feeling of friendship, solidarity, and they really love being able to have a voice and put it out there. So, yeah.
So, you know, you say that you do a lot of listening in these and you kind of make them talk it out themselves. Do you find that there are some cultural aspects that you kind of don't understand coming from Canada? So is it somehow a challenge trying to get your ideas through, but also being sensitive of the culture here in Rwanda?
Yeah, it's not too much, because Rwanda has such a progressive attitude towards gender equality. Not everybody everywhere understands what that means. Part of the reason why we wanted to do the sort of gender education workshops was because we were getting feedback from the Ministry of Gender that they have a lot of challenges, particularly in the rural areas, with people understanding what does gender mean, what does it actually mean, and in many cases it's misconceived as being just about women and just about somehow disempowering men or oppressing men to lift women up, which is completely not the truth. So in a way that's a bit of a cultural barrier in general, but when I'm working with the girls, you find, as one of the poets, Natasha, was saying, that they have that spark and they have that drive, and they really want to be able to talk about it and bring it out instead of keeping things in the dark, even though they see around them, our culture teaches us this, our culture teaches us that. So I learned a lot from them. I think I was probably in a better place to start engaging with them because I had done a lot of research in advance. And I had spent some time here already and lived here for a while before really taking off Paper Crown. So there are cultural issues, but I think the fundamentals are universal, which are equality, nonviolence, dignity, and respect for all.
So you were saying while we were watching the short feature that Florence, the girl that was speaking, she's one of the more outspoken and comfortable ones.
She is.
Do you find that most of the students are kind of like that, or they're a little bit more reserved? Because I know Rwandans in general, it's said that they tend to be quite reserved and a little bit shy.
Yes, it's true, and that's self-reported as well. A lot of the girls say, one of the first feedbacks I got from my first workshop at Gashora Girls Academy was, I really love this workshop, but I noticed that even in our school, where girls are more empowered than maybe in other schools because of the specific environment at Gashora, there was even girls that were shy and timid to speak in this workshop. And so that says to me that we need more of this, even though these girls are relatively more empowered. We need more of this because they are shy. So there's some that are almost impossible to get them to talk. And when they talk, they almost whisper. So part of some of the workshops we do is about public speaking and presentation. And self-confidence is a big one. Self-confidence is the #1 most commonly cited barrier that girls tell me is a problem for them, growing up personally and professionally. So we really try to work on that too. So
for the future of Paper Crown, what do you hope to achieve? Where do you see yourself in the next however many years?
World domination. I don't know. No, I do know. We want to expand to East Africa, preferably in the next 5 years. I don't know if we'll be able to get through all of Rwanda in the next 5 years, but we've had such an overwhelmingly positive response to things like the Uicheza project. I've had men's groups come and talk to me about doing trainings with them, which we've done as well. Engaging men is one of our areas of intervention, and we also do research. So we have a lot of different areas that keep us busy, and I would really like to see, for one, the Uicheza project expanded all across different public schools in Rwanda, and we're working with a lot of Rwandan partners for that, for the mentors, for the community development. So I think this pilot will be really successful, and then people will just, hopefully it will catch like wildfire.
So I mean, is there anyone who is watching right now and they're saying, this is something that I would love to be involved in, or something that I want to kind of take part in maybe? What would you have to say to them? Is it kind of open for people to chat to you? Or
it's wide open. Anyone can call me, email me, WhatsApp, SMS, Instagram. I got an Instagram message from a young teenage girl in Virginia who's Rwandan.
Wow.
From the diaspora, and she moved there when she's 11 and now she's 16, and she's actually starting a paper crown club. So there's ways that you can be formally involved where we do the training, and there's ways that you can be informally involved where if you have a club at your school, we're open to anything, and we're young and we're innovative, so we're looking at people who are coming up with fresh ideas. We're open to trying a lot of new different things, so we're not the typical sort of. Yeah.
Okay, well, it sounds amazing. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck. The launch looked great. I hope that
it was really successful.
Yes, I heard that there was some funds raised.
Yes, there were. We were giving away flights, so we had a really high bid on the flights for someone that was conveniently going to New York.
Oh, great.
So that was perfect timing, and I just want to thank everybody that supported us. Eugene Anangwe, you know Eugene from Radio and
Eugene
TV.
Here,
yes, VJ Nano, Carol from Karaoke, Teta Diana, Josh, I should say Trudy.
You had some
Natasha, the lady.
There.
We did.
Some good support happening
Yes,
there.
they were really supportive. It was really nice to have
Great. Well, we support you here at Rise and Shine as well.
Thank you.
Good luck for everything that's coming up.
Thank you very much.
And speaking of coming up, we also have Hot Topics up next, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.